there have been, captains of the club before who have performed similar to Bruno, and one of
Yep.
those ilk is Bryan Robson, who played for United for how many? 13 years? It wasn't?
Yeah.
I think 81 to 90,
81 to 90,
almost 13
13,
years.
13 seasons he gave. Yeah.
With varied forms of United finishing in the top half and the bottom half.
Yeah.
He eventually, in his last couple of years, when his influence was waning, was able to win, the Premier League. But again, at that moment, he was not at his peak. But I think you tell his story better than I will.
No, so I think why this comparison drew very naturally to me is when I had read the Bryan Robson story. I've obviously not seen him play, but when I read his entire story, saw some of the videos, etc., I think few things that stand out was that Bryan Robson was a true blue leader. He would carry the team forward. I think it was after 84, his single-handed performance against Barcelona in one of the, I think, Cup Winners' Cup or one of those competitions, is when I think he got the nickname Captain Marvel. And uh, even similar stories, right? Bryan Robson joined United at 24. He was captaining at the age of 22 to 24. He was already captaining the West Brom team. uh, Atkinson joined us from West Brom as the manager in 81. He brought Bryan Robson with him. Bruno joined us at 25. Robson was more, of a pure central midfielder. Bruno obviously has been a attacking midfielder. Now is playing CM under uh, Amorim. And both are leadership material. Both got captaincy pretty quickly in their Manchester United career. Both won FA Cup as captains in the first season of their captaincy. So some of those similarities are eerie, right? Robson in the first
Mhm.
5 seasons then went on to win 2 FA Cups. Bruno won 1 FA Cup and 1 League Cup. Hopefully, he can add a Europa League to it. Robson added a European competition much later in 91 when he won the Cup Winners' Cup. He led the team to beat Johan Cruyff's Barcelona at that point in time. But I think the bigger point here is that Robson has been through the transitions for Manchester United. Atkinson led as manager Manchester United for 5 seasons, consistently finished top four, but it was in his sixth season when we were close to relegation, is when Sir Alex came in. And after that, it was a little bit of a roller coaster ride where we finished 11th that season, second next, and then another couple of second half finishes 11 and 13. But in this season, when we finished 13, I think it was 90, is when Bryan Robson led United to the FA Cup victory, which saved Sir Alex Ferguson's job. And after that, it was only going up from there. We started finishing closer to the league title. Then finally in 92-93, first season of the Premier League era, we went on to win the league and then went on to win the league again. Bryan Robson was obviously 35 or 36 at by this point in time, so he was not playing as many games. I just have this feeling that Bruno is going through a similar trajectory. We are obviously not close to a Premier League title for the next couple of years, although there's Mission 150 etc. is being talked about. I think even Amorim knows it will at the least take 3-4 years to make this team like really league title contenders, and after that also you don't know how many other teams strengthen.
Never say never with United. You never know. Bringing one or two players might change the trajectory. We have seen that multiple times in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I still say if we have a world class center forward, could be anything, and it might be the case that Bruno might have a legacy exactly like Bryan Robson winning the Premier League title himself.
That
Which brings us to the
yeah.
final question: Is the lack of club success the only reason why we don't consider Bruno as a club legend? And I will give my answer. That is the main reason why I don't consider him as a legend, because Premier League for me is the holy grail. Uh, unless and until you have a Premier League, you cannot call yourself a Premier League and a Manchester United legend. I think that is the one missing piece. If Bruno is able to somehow bring the Premier League title to Manchester United, he'll cement his place in my eyes as a legend. That being said, he's still been a great servant of the club. He's still been a great player because he was brought under Ole. played under Ragnick, then Eric Ten Hag, and and then finally now under Amor. Never downed his tools, has only raised his game since the day he joined Manchester United.
I largely agree. However, if we are in a position 5 years later, Bruno is exiting the club hypothetically at the age of 35 and he has doubled his statistics from where he is today. He has gone on to play some, 550 games, has close to 300 goal contributions for the club. I would consider him as a legend, even if he weren't to win the Premier League. I mean, if you can give in that kind of performances for 500 games, I think you deserve to be. At this point in time, he is a great player for the club. He's a great servant, as you call to the club, but maybe not a legend. If he were to leave tomorrow, definitely not a legend. But if this performances were to continue for another 4 or 5 seasons, I think I would consider him one. And but I agree to you because whenever I think of legendary players, whether it is for our club or it is for other clubs, I have not I haven't come across a name that hasn't won trophies. Gerrard is the closest that comes to having not won the Premier League yet being a legend, at even the Premier League level. But he has won that Champions League trophy, which was an iconic, career-defining sort of a performance in just that one game. So that maybe covers it to some extent. But bottom line is, Bruno needs to be part of this team, and this team needs to win it with Bruno. Premier League, Champions League, both, at least the Premier League, to cement that legend status.
Well, you guys let us know what you guys feel about this, and let us know whether you feel Bruno is a legend or not, or is it he a legend in the making. And as always, this
This
is
is
our
our
perch.
perch. Let's knock him off. Until next time, stay united.